Welcome to your journey into sleep. Tonight I'll whisper softly to help you relax, unwind, and drift gently into a deep, peaceful sleep. When the morning comes, may you wake up refreshed, full of energy, with a clear mind and calm heart, ready to move through your day with ease. Welcome to Bedtime Tales, a place where soothing sleep stories are told to help you relax and fall asleep faster. Here, every tale is like a gentle breeze, a quiet stream that washes away the noise of the day and brings peace to your thoughts. Now, find a comfortable place to rest. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and let go of everything that's been weighing on your mind. Let this calming bedtime story guide you through soft memories, tender dreams, and finally into a deep and restful sleep dot. And now, it's time to listen to tonight's story, The Garden of Forgotten Promises. At night, the sky wore a thin veil of mist. Every sound seemed to fade. Only the soft rustle of wind through the trees remained, carrying with it the scent of damp earth from a quiet road leading toward the edge of town. Elara walked slowly, her fingertips brushing against the wildflowers that lined the path. She did not know why she had chosen this road, only that something deep within her was calling, a voice so faint it felt like the breath of a memory from afar. The wind brought with it a strange fragrance, the scent of flowers she could not name. Perhaps it was the smell of an old spring, or of promises that had long dissolved into the passing years. Elara stopped. In the darkness she saw a dim light flickering, like a tiny flame dancing among the trees. Her heart began to beat faster. Then a voice drifted to her, soft as a sigh carried by the wind. If you still remember, keep walking. She listened. Everything around her grew silent, utterly still, except for the wind brushing gently against her skin, tender as a touch once familiar. Elara closed her eyes and took a deep breath. The weight upon her shoulders began to melt away, replaced by a strange sense of calm. With each step, she felt herself walking farther from the ordinary world, its worries, its unfinished dreams, and deeper into a realm where time itself seemed to pause. Then she saw it, a gate wrought from iron and covered in moss, standing alone beneath the pale moonlight. The intricate patterns upon it shimmered faintly, as if they were alive. Etched across its surface were words nearly erased by rain and years of wind. The Garden of Forgotten Promises. Elara reached out. The metal was cold to the touch, yet somehow familiar, as though she had once stood before it, long ago, perhaps in a dream. A gentle wind blew past, and the gate creaked open with a low, ancient sigh. Beyond it lay a garden bathed in silver light, wrapped in a soft blanket of mist. As she stepped through the threshold, the world behind her seemed to fade away. No distant cars, no scent of smoke, only the hush of wind, the slow drip of water somewhere unseen, and the delicate fragrance of blooming air guiding her forward. Strangely, she felt no fear. It was as if she were coming home, not to a place, but to a part of herself she had long forgotten. And then, once more the wind whispered, tender and clear, "Welcome to the garden where promises fall asleep." The air inside the garden was different, almost weightless, as if every breath carried a trace of forgotten dreams. The moonlight lingered on the petals of sleeping flowers, turning them into tiny stars scattered across the earth. Elara stood for a moment, her eyes adjusting to the gentle silver glow. Everything felt both strange and familiar, like a half-remembered lullaby she used to hum as a child. The path before her was narrow, lined with small lanterns that flickered with blue fire. They seemed to awaken as she passed, one by one, guiding her deeper into the heart of the garden. In the distance, she could hear water, the soft rhythm of droplets falling into a shallow pool. The sound was soothing, steady, like the heartbeat of the night itself. As Elara walked, she noticed carvings on the old stone walls that bordered the path. Names, symbols, words half erased by time. Some glowed faintly when she looked at them, shimmering like embers that refused to die. She reached out to touch one. The moment her fingertips brushed the stone, an image fluttered through her mind, a glimpse of herself laughing in the rain, holding someone's hand. A promise whispered, a smile that never said goodbye. Elar, gasped softly. The vision faded as quickly as it came, leaving behind only the faint warmth of memory. "The walls remember," a voice said behind her, calm, low, and steady, "even when you do not." She turned. Standing a few steps away was a man dressed in a long, pale cloak. His hair was silver, though his face bore no trace of age. His eyes held the color of quiet rivers, deep, endless, knowing. "Who are you?" Elara asked softly. "The keeper," he replied. "I tend this place. It's been waiting for you." She hesitated. "Waiting for me?" He nodded, smiling faintly. "Every soul who once made a promise finds their way here, sooner or later. The garden remembers what the heart forgets." Elara glanced around at the walls, the flowers, the drifting mist. And what happens when we remember? The keeper's gaze turned to the glowing carvings. Then the promise begins to bloom again. They began walking together. The keeper's steps made no sound on the soft earth. Around them, the garden seemed to awaken, faint whispers rising from the flowers, like echoes of voices that once belonged to laughter, love, and sorrow. They stopped at an archway made of intertwined branches. The leaves shimmered faintly, and through it, Elara could see many paths winding into the distance, each one lit by a different hue of light. Each path holds a promise, the keeper said. Some are gentle like morning light. Some are heavy like the last tear of night. You may walk whichever calls to you. Elara looked at the paths. One glowed softly in gold, warm, inviting. Another shimmered in silver, cold but beautiful. And then at the far end she saw one cloaked in pale blue, the color of dreams forgotten but not lost. Her heart stirred. Without knowing why, she chose the blue path. The keeper inclined his head as if he had expected it. Follow the wind, he said. It knows the way. As she stepped beneath the archway, the air grew lighter, cooler. The scent of lavender and rain wrapped around her. Lanterns above swayed gently in the breeze, their light flickering in rhythm with her heartbeat. Behind her, the keeper's voice drifted one last time, calm and distant. Every promise carries a seed, and even the forgotten ones still wish to bloom. Elara walked on, her footsteps quiet as whispers. The path wound deeper into the night, where memories waited, patient and alive. The blue path led Elara deeper into the garden, where the air shimmered like the surface of a quiet lake. The mist had turned into thin ribbons of silver, drifting through the trees and carrying with them the softest hum, as though the garden itself was singing a lullaby too old for words. The path curved gently and opened into a wide clearing. Before her stretched a field of glowing petals, each one shining faintly with its own hue. Pale rose, amber, lilac, ivory. They swayed without wind, as if breathing in unison. Elara felt drawn to them. She knelt down, brushing her fingers across one of the blossoms. The moment she touched it, the world shifted. She was standing under a tree in the rain. The air was cold, her hair damp against her face. A younger version of herself stood beside someone, a man whose eyes she could not quite remember. They were laughing. He was promising something, a life perhaps, or a tomorrow. She wanted to believe. Then the vision dissolved like mist under sunlight. Elara gasped softly. The flower she had touched folded in on itself and faded into the earth, leaving behind a faint sparkle, a broken promise. A voice murmured nearby. She turned and saw the keeper again, though she had not heard his approach. He was watching the petals drift. Every flower you see, he said gently, is born from a promise once spoken. Some bloom forever. Some fall asleep before their time. Elara looked around. Some flowers glowed brightly, full of color and warmth. Others dimmed like dying stars. Do they ever wake again? She asked. The keeper smiled faintly. Sometimes, when the heart that made them remembers, not with sorrow, but with peace. He raised his hand slightly. The air stirred and dozens of petals lifted, swirling around them in a slow, graceful dance. Each petal carried a whisper, voices so soft they could barely be heard. I'll be there. Don't forget. I promise. Elara closed her eyes. The voices brushed against her mind like feathers. She could feel their weight, not sadness, but something gentler. Regret mixed with tenderness, like rain falling on warm soil dot. As the petals settled, she noticed a narrow path winding through the field, lined with small stones. Each stone glimmered faintly, marking a different memory. She followed it. Along the way, she saw scenes suspended in the air, not solid, but like reflections upon water. A child making a wish beside a well. A woman writing a letter she never sent. A friend waiting beneath a tree that never bloomed again. Each scene melted into the next, like waves folding upon themselves. Elara stopped before a pool at the end of the path. Its surface was perfectly still, reflecting the stars and her own face among them. But as she knelt to look closer, ripples began to form, and in them she saw another memory, a promise she had made to herself. To be brave, to keep dreaming, to never let the world make her forget who she was. And yet, she had forgotten. Tears welled softly in her eyes, though they did not fall. The keeper's voice came again, gentle as wind through reeds. Promises do not vanish when broken. They wait quietly for forgiveness. Elara whispered, barely audible, "Then I forgive myself." The moment the words left her lips, the pool shimmered. The ripples slowed, then stilled. From its center, a single blue flower rose, glowing softly like the first dawn. The keeper nodded. "The garden has heard you." Elara stood in silence, feeling the night fold around her like a warm blanket. The petals in the air began to settle again, shining brighter than before. Somewhere in the distance, wind moved through the trees, gentle, rhythmic, endless. She took a slow breath, and for the first time in a long while, she felt light. Not because she had forgotten her promises, but because she had begun to remember them, not as burdens, but as seeds as she turned to leave the clearing. A whisper rose behind her, carried by the wind. Even the promises you thought were lost still bloom when you forgive the one who made them, yourself. Elara smiled faintly. The path ahead glowed like morning light. She followed it deeper into the heart of the garden, where moonlight waited upon still water. The path opened at last into silence. Not an empty silence, but one that breathed alive with small, unseen rhythms. The air shimmered faintly, carrying the scent of jasmine and rain. Ahead, beneath a canopy of pale silver trees, a vast lake stretched out like a mirror to the stars. The surface was perfectly still, not even a ripple to break its calm. Moonlight lay upon it like silk, spreading softly, endlessly, as if the sky had descended to rest upon the water. Elara stepped closer. Each movement felt slow, deliberate, her feet brushing against the soft moss, her breath sinking with the quiet hum of the night. The keeper followed behind her, silent, his cloak whispering against the grass. "This is the heart of the garden," he said quietly. "The lake of reflections. Every soul who enters here will see not what was, but what still lives within them." Elara gazed into the water. At first, she saw only her reflection, her hair glinting under the moon, her eyes calm but uncertain. Then the surface began to shift. Ripples formed where none had touched, and from their center images rose, faint at first, then clear. She saw herself as a child, sitting beneath a window, painting the sky on scraps of paper. She saw the girl she had been, whispering promises to the stars. She saw laughter, tears, and all the quiet moments that had shaped her heart. But the reflections changed. Now she saw herself standing at crossroads, turning away from the things that once made her whole. The reflection looked older, tired, carrying the weight of unspoken regrets. Elara's heart clenched. She wanted to look away, yet the water held her gaze gently, as though saying, "You are safe. It is time. The past does not seek to hurt you," the keeper said softly. "It only asks to be seen so it may rest." She knelt beside the lake. The cool mist touched her face like a blessing. "I left so many things behind," she whispered. "Dreams, promises, even parts of myself I thought I no longer needed." The keeper nodded. "And yet they have never left you. They've been waiting quietly for you to return." Elara dipped her hand into the water. The surface trembled and light rippled outward in perfect circles. The reflection shifted again, no longer showing her past, but something new. She saw a garden blooming under sunlight, the same one she stood in now, but brighter, alive. Flowers swayed, laughter drifted through the air, and she was there, older yet lighter, her eyes full of peace. It wasn't a memory. It was a possibility. The keeper smiled faintly, as though he too could see it. "When the heart forgives, it becomes a seed," he said. "And when the soul forgives itself, the seed finally learns to bloom." Elara closed her eyes. She breathed deeply in and out, until her heartbeat matched the rhythm of the lake. With every breath, the images in the water grew softer, fading into calm. Moonlight pooled around her like liquid silver. The garden was utterly still, save for the gentle sound of the wind passing through the reeds. In that silence, Elara spoke, not to the keeper, not to the night, but to the part of herself that had waited all this time. I remember now, and I am ready to let it all rest. A single tear slipped down her cheek, falling into the lake. Where it touched, the water glowed, not bright, but soft, like the first light of dawn beneath the sea. The keeper stepped back, his eyes warm. Then the garden will remember, too. The glow spread across the lake, a slow wave of silver unfolding toward the horizon. The stars above seemed to shimmer in answer, as though the heavens themselves had heard her. Elara sat in silence, watching the light dance upon the water. The night no longer felt heavy. It felt like a lullaby, a quiet, endless song of remembering and release that the keeper spoke once more, his voice blending with the wind. What you see now is not an ending. Elara, it is the stillness between what was and what will be. Rest in it. Breathe. Let the world move gently again. Elara closed her eyes. The last thing she saw was the moon's reflection, soft, whole, and peaceful, before it blurred into dreams. When Elara opened her eyes, dawn was rising. The moon had slipped beyond the horizon, leaving behind a faint trail of silver light that lingered across the lake like a memory saying, farewell. The air smelled of dew and soft earth. A pale mist drifted above the water, glowing faintly gold in the newborn light. For a long moment, she sat in silence, her hands resting on her knees, her breath slow, her heart steady. The night's visions still shimmered within her mind, but they no longer felt heavy. They were simply there, gentle, like petals floating downstream. She turned to find the keeper standing near the edge of the clearing, his cloak catching the first rays of sunlight. You walked through the past, he said softly. You do it with such grace. Elara smiled faintly. It felt like walking through my own heartbeat. The keeper's eyes glimmered. Then you are ready for the final gift. He motioned for her to follow. Together they walked along a path lined with morning flowers, tiny white blooms opening one by one, greeting the day. Their fragrance was light and clean. Like rain falling on glass. The path led them to a quiet hollow where the soil was dark and rich. A single shaft of sunlight shone down through the leaves, warming the ground. The keeper knelt and drew from his robe a small seed, round, smooth, glowing faintly with blue light. He held it out to her. Every soul who remembers their forgotten promises is given one seed, he said. It carries the weight of all that was lost and all that may still be. Elara took it carefully in her palm. It was warm, almost alive, pulsing in rhythm with her heartbeat. What should I do with it? She asked. Plant it, the keeper said. But first, name it. Elara looked at the seed. So small, yet it felt as though the entire garden rested within it. She thought of the things she had seen. laughter and sorrow, broken promises and new beginnings. She thought of the reflection in the lake, the version of herself who had found peace. Then she whispered, "I name it forgiveness." The keeper's smile deepened, and he bowed his head. "Then let it grow." Elara knelt beside the soft earth. With her fingers, she dug a small hollow and placed the seed gently within. As she covered it, the soil felt warm beneath her touch, as though the ground itself breathed. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a tremor of light spread through the soil, faint as the flicker of dawn. A small sprout emerged, delicate, translucent, and within seconds it began to grow. Rising toward the light dot, it was unlike any plant she had ever seen. Its stem shimmered like glass touched by sunlight, its leaves soft as silk. Tiny blossoms unfolded along it, glowing faintly with the same blue light as the seed. The air around them filled with a fragrance so pure it seemed to cleanse every thought, a scent of rain, wildflowers, and something older than memory. "Forgiveness is the rarest bloom," the keeper said quietly. "It can only grow in hearts that no longer cling to sorrow." Elara reached out and touched one of the blossoms. The petals felt cool, alive, and as she touched them, a warmth spread through her chest. She saw flashes, not of pain, but of release. Faces she once loved, words she once regretted, and with every breath they drifted away, not lost, but transformed into light. Tears welled in her eyes, yet they were soft, weightless, almost like rain returning to the sea. "I thought forgiveness meant forgetting," she said quietly. "But now I see it means remembering without pain." The keeper nodded. "That is how the garden heals." Above them, the wind stirred, carrying with it the fragrance of the new bloom. Around the hollow, other flowers began to awaken, one by one, touched by the same light. It spread across the garden like a gentle tide, color returning, life unfolding, everything breathing again. The keeper turned to her, his eyes kind but distant, as though he were fading into the light. "My work here is done," he said softly. "A garden no longer needs a keeper." "It has you now." Elara looked up in surprise, but the air around him had already begun to shimmer. His form wavered like a reflection upon water. "Wait, will I see you again?" His smile was faint, carried on the wind. "Whenever you listen, the garden is within you now. Every breath you take will water its roots." Then, with the next breeze, he was gone. Elara stood alone beside the blooming tree of forgiveness. Sunlight poured over her shoulders. The mist lifted, revealing the endless expanse of the garden, now awake, radiant, alive, She felt no sadness, only peace. The petals above her drifted down, landing softly in her hair, upon her hands, upon the earth. Each one shimmered before dissolving into light. Elara closed her eyes, breathed deeply, and smiled. "Then let it grow," she whispered once more, and somewhere deep beneath the soil, the seed's heart pulsed again, steady, alive, spreading its quiet rhythm through every corner of the garden. The sun was now high above the trees, painting the sky in soft shades of gold. Every leaf, every petal, every drop of dew shimmered like it had just been born. Elara walked slowly through the paths of the garden. Paths that once felt endless and mysterious now felt familiar, welcoming, alive. The flowers bowed gently as she passed, releasing small trails of fragrance that danced in the air. Birdsong returned, faint at first, then fuller, rising like a melody carried by the wind. The garden of forgotten promises had awakened, but it did not feel loud or bright. It was quiet, peaceful, whole. Everywhere she looked, the garden was blooming again. The lake reflected the sky like a mirror of light. The weeping willows that once drooped with sorrow now stood tall, their branches glittering with tiny silver leaves. And at the center of it all, the tree of forgiveness, the one she had planted, stretched toward the sky, its blossoms opening like stars at sunrise. She walked to the tree and rested her palm against its trunk. It felt warm, humming softly beneath her touch. "You're alive," she whispered. A voice not from the air but from within her answered gently, "Because you are." Elara smiled. She could feel the truth of it. Every root, every branch, every flower, it all lived through her heartbeat. She understood then what the keeper had meant. The garden was not just a place. It was her spirit, a reflection of every promise she had ever made, broken or kept. A reflection of every dream she had once forgotten but now remembered again. The wind rose softly, curling through the blossoms, and as it moved, the petals began to drift, thousands of them swirling through the air like pale snow. They shimmered in the sunlight, and for a moment, the whole garden seemed to breathe. Elara tilted her head back, eyes closed, feeling the petals fall across her face. They were cool and light, like whispers of goodbye, or perhaps of beginning again. She found a quiet spot beneath a tree and lay down upon the soft moss. The earth beneath her felt warm, alive, gentle, like being held. Above her, the leaves swayed slowly, their movement matching the rhythm of her breath. She looked up through the branches and saw the sky glowing pale and endless. And in that sky, for the briefest moment, she thought she saw the keeper's face, smiling, distant, peaceful. "Rest now," his voice said, carried by the wind. "The garden will keep watch." Her eyes grew heavy. She could feel the day folding softly around her like a blanket of light. The hum of the garden blended with her heartbeat, one rhythm, one calm, one peace. Somewhere far away, a chime sounded, delicate, clear, like glass touched by the sun. It echoed across the lake, through the trees, into the open sky dot, and as the sound faded, so did her thoughts. No more questions, no more remembering. Only stillness. Her breath slowed. The petals continued to fall, and slowly the light dimmed into the soft blue of evening once more. The garden, too, began to grow quiet. The birds tucked themselves into nests of golden leaves. The wind stilled, and the lake turned a silver glass dot in the silence. The blossoms of forgiveness glowed faintly, like stars scattered across the earth. Their light pulsed gently, matching the rhythm of a dream. And as the last whisper of day faded into night, the garden of forgotten promises fell into slumber, peaceful. Eternal, alive, Elara slept beneath the glowing branches, her heart calm, her soul whole. The garden breathed around her, patient and kind. Dot it would wait, as it always had, for the next dawn, for the next soul in need of remembering Dot. And so, under the hush of twilight, where every forgotten promise becomes a seed, and every seed becomes light, the garden slept Dot, forever blooming, forever forgiving, forever at peace.